How do you deal with the build-up of Kundalini energy, and how do you move it from your lower center into your higher center? So one thing you can do is to sit as I'm sitting in easy pose and sit against one of the heels of your feet. You sit with a straight spine, shoulders down, raise your arms above your head with your palms together across as high as possible. Now in that position, the first thing you're going to do is when you breathe, you inhale and apply the first lock between your perineum and anus. Apply the second lock by pulling your navel in. As you breathe, apply the third lock here so that you're locking all of the energy and you're breathing it right up with your arms like that as forcefully as you can, and carry on doing this. So I'm going to try to show you. Your arms should be above and as straight as possible. And do this as many times as you can, but do this for at least a period of 3 minutes so that you're able to push your energy up. The reason why we create an apex with both our palms together is that we are balancing the solar and the lunar, the Ida and the Pingala above our head, because as we know, our crown chakra is not in here, it's above the head, at least 1.5 feet above the head. So wherever your palms meet, you're creating a triangle above you, and the idea is for you to push your energy up. And as you bring, you always remember to bring it down, because you don't want your energy to be sitting up. Wherever your energy is sitting, it's got to sit at a place where you're comfortable and where you can manage it. Imagine what happens when a expectant mother is in labor. When she gives birth, what do we tell her? We tell her to open herself up completely relax her so that she can widen and release. She is opening. But when we have a build-up of energy, we want to try and close all of our channels inside so that the energy can rise up beyond sitting at the root, right? But also another thing, we don't always have to engage in various postures, kriyas, mudras, meditation. We don't have to do it. We can, but we don't have to do it, because wherever the energy decides to sit, we can say it decides when we are not fully aware of the process of the two things that are happening. One is the higher me who's directing everything, and one is the gross reality me who is receiving all of this. In effect, there is no difference between that higher and this physical reality. So in labor, it's coming out. Yeah. In Kundalini, we are harnessing all of that energy and we're building it up so that we can clear the rest of the channels. Now, if the energy is working on, say for example, it is working on your root, on your Muladhara, here there will be an intense sexual energy, or rather let's call it the energy of creation. Yeah, the energy of creation. Now this energy, when it reaches higher centers, it turns into Satchitananda, so absolute Ananda. But when it is at lower centers, it amplifies the characteristics of that particular center. So if it is in our Muladhara, in our root chakra, that is our survival. This is where most of us will have issues to do with survival, fear-based issues. All of this comes up. So all of these things will be dealt with. But on a separate note, if there's an excess of energy that is sitting down below, we can do this little meditation right at the beginning, and that should help. If it doesn't help, then retrain your mind not to look at that energy or to receive that energy as what we think sex means, right? That sex is matter to matter, gross to gross, gross reality to gross reality, physical to physical. Now we are moving on to the level of tantra, so tantric sex, which is beyond this body. There's no body. It's a technique. Now, imagine that there is that access energy. When there is that access energy and you really need a form of release, what you do is that's when you apply all your locks and you keep pushing it up. So you lock your muscles at the bottom, take a really deep breath in or a really fast and long breath up. Visualize the energy going shooting up, right? And keep doing that so that you keep pushing this energy up and move your attention away from what this energy or this feeling means to you. So if it's a feeling like you've had before, that if I'm getting this kind of feeling, then I should be doing something about it, or it means I am feeling excited, whereas actually you're not. You're really simply not. But because we've had that association before, right, we have that kind of a tendency. So the idea is redirect your attention, pick something to read or chant something, but try to channel that energy back up. Yeah, eventually it all stops. Eventually all of those really sort of sensations that take over us and they begin to ride us, it all settles down. But this is why some form of yoga is important, some form of meditation is important, but it's not everything. You have to listen to your own inner guide, your own intuition. So on one hand, whilst it is amazing to have somebody guide us, this experience of Kundalini, whilst universal, it is also so unique to each one of us. The trajectory that it will take will be very unique to each one of us, right? Yes, eventually it's all going to merge and it's all going to get to this central point, but we all have different karmas, different samskaras, right? Different conditioning, different patterns, different battles that we must get through at the gross reality. And don't forget, beyond the gross reality, before we even get into the causal or the subtle reality of us, we've got to contend with our astral reality. So a lot of us might get stuck there. It's a slow process for some, or it could happen very instantly for the others. Try not to label this process as well, so that if there are other things that are really happening and we might need different kind of attention, we might miss it if we keep labeling it. So try not to label it and just go with whatever is coming to you, because ultimately we're all going to get there, whichever way you choose. Whether you have somebody, whether you don't have anybody, you're going to get there. Because if you have chosen the life that you've chosen to bring you this far, you're going to get through this as well. You don't have to have anyone holding your hand or anything. You're going to get there, right? We are in a lila. We are in a lila. So whenever you hear the word sex or sexual energy, ask yourself what it really means. When flowers come into bloom, when trees grow, yeah, when a seed starts to sprout, all of this is the energy of creation. When we are full of this energy, we get very creative as well. Our creativity is boundless. So when we have a lot of that energy, channel it into other things. Raise it up, but channel it. Channel it into poetry, into art, into anything that is your soul's expression. And as you do this, you'll find that you're not finding it difficult with that kind of energy, but you're able to use that energy creatively rather than letting that energy dissipate. All my love, blessings, and thank you for watching so far. Take care.